Hi guys, I'm Giacomo from the FifthGuys and welcome to the first episode of Let's Break It Down. Today I'm gonna explain you how we made our track with Salvo and M.I.M.E called All For You. Be ready because there's a lot of things going on here, so let's move to the intro. Okay, as you can see at the beginning there are not that many things, especially here we still have our piano with a lot of reverb, delay, and EQ on it, and a bunch of other elements like cymatics, percussions, and random synths to have a lot of ambience to the entire situation we are creating. For example, we have these percussions and this synth just to give a bit of ambience, and the bass that we decided to freeze that is just for supporting the piano. And probably the most important thing is this bottle that we found in our studio and Stefano decided to record. As you can see, there's a lot of delay on it and not that many elements, just a bunch of effects that we recorded in the studio, nothing special. So let's move to the real break. First of all, I just want you to see the vocal processing. There's not that many things going on, especially because we decided to do the mix afterwards. We just added a bit of compression, a bit of reverb, and a delay, and some utility function. Then we also decided, but this in the build-up, to double the voice with a bit of saturation and a delay just to make it sound thicker. So let's keep going with the break. There's still our piano, some piano shots, and a very basic bass that we used in our previous collab with Bounce Makers. It is a very basic one. There's just a hyper, distortion, reverb, delay, and compression. Nothing special, to be honest. We still have some random elements that we decided to add that we sampled from Kashmir with a bunch of reverb, a bit of EQ on them that add a really nice vibe to the entire song. We have also this one. This one was made on Serum. It's probably a unit preset or something we made, in fact, because we make 99.9% of the sounds from scratch. We have the guitars. And still the same sound we had before. Let's talk about the drums. We have a layer of snares without any effects on and hi-hat loop. We have the kick, and then we have the sidechain, and then nothing more because we still have some guitars at the end by Stefano. Okay, then let's go to the build-up. Very saucy part. In the build-up, we don't have a lot of elements. I think the key elements are the guitars and the drums. In fact, as you can hear, the guitars play a very important role in this part due to the power chords that Stefano recorded. In the first part, there are just a lot of effects going on. There's just the lead that is a bit filtered till the climax. There are still the piano shots and a lot of elements going on. For example, the claps that we decided to add, but mainly effects. Then let's talk about the drums. We still have our kick and the sidechain. Then we have the clap and a lot of other snares. A snare loop that we took from Kashmir and a lot of Kashmir effects. So thanks Kashmir for doing my music. We also have a percussion fill here that we made from scratch with OTT and utility on it. And that's all for the build-up. About the voice, that's the layer we decided to add. There's some processing going on here also because it was pitched down. And that's all. Together it sounds like this. I don't know if you can hear the difference, but this layer gives a lot of thickness to the voice, and in this part with all these guitars is quite needed. So that's all for the build-up. Let's talk about the drop. In the drop we have a group of mid bass, one higher and one lower. There are not that many things going on here. I think are pretty basic mid basses. That's how we did them, with a lot of distortion and compression. Then we have the lead that is made in this way. It's pretty simple. As I say, not that many things going on. In fact, you don't need a lot of things to have a very cool song out of your creativity process. A lot of distortion, compression, and that's all we have here. And that's how the lead sound without all the effects on. Sorry guys. And that's how we made the lead. This sound is basically the lower mid bass with a different kind of effects on. We just added a bit of OTT and changed a bit the preset, nothing special. And then let's talk about the drums. As you can see, there's still the same kick with the sidechain. The snare, that is a layer of 3 different snares with multiband dynamics, EQ, saturator, and reverb on them. And that's all guys. We have some random toms and trap clap that we got from Kashmir, some Kashmir ride loop, and that's all. Nothing special, as I say, but they work pretty well together. And then let's talk about M.I.M.E's voice. We did a lot of work on this voice just because we wanted to be in the background, especially in the drop. But talking about the single clips we just added an EQ just to cut some unnecessary frequencies. We have a glue compressor to make them stick together, a saturator, a delay, and a EQ, and a bunch of reverb. The result you get is this one. And that's all for the drop. Let's talk about the second verse. In the second verse, we still have the same elements we got at the beginning, but with the difference that we still have some elements from the drop. For example, the kick drum, even if it is a very chill kick, I would say, compared to the one we used in the drop. The snare, we still have some hi-hat loops, and we added also guitars that are pretty important in this section. Also here we have another layer. Of course, Stefano decided to auto-pan that stem. Add some compression, some delay, just to give a bit of dynamic to the entire situation. It's actually pretty interesting how he works on guitars, but I will let him explain that, otherwise he might kill me. And that's all we have in the second verse. We still have a bridge afterwards where we have very few elements. I guess more or less the same elements we got at the early stage of the song. So the piano, the basic cymatics percussions, the bass, this kind of sounds, that give a lot of ambience and space to the song. And I love the voice of Salvo mixing with Chris recordings, because the result is very, very cool.
Touch was worth the pain. I made the same mistake again.
Very interesting is the processing of the voice of M.I.M.E. We have a compressor, an overdrive, an OTT. We also have some EQ on it, just to make it sound like it's speaking through a telephone, a saturator, a reverb, and a lot of delay. Then we have the same build up and the same drop. That's how we made All For You. Okay guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you can let me know in the comment. And be ready, because there might be an official remix by Finnet coming out pretty soon. And I think it's all for the first episode of Let's Break It Down. So see you soon guys. Ciao.